Bob the Builder, can we fix it? Yes, we can! And today's question of the day is about fixing the game. So let's be, Bob the Builder, and, try to fix Pokemon. Name one little change you would have to Pokemon, to make the game better. Well, one little change I would make is, put 2 speed from, Garchomp's 102 base speed, and put it into attack or something. Because if Garchomp was in the 100 base speed class, I don't think it would be, needed to be banned at all. And that's just something I would do, because I hate the fact that Garchomp is Uber. I mean, sure, it needs to be Uber. I don't disagree with that. But, I think, it probably shouldn't have been Uber. And if it just had, it was in that 100 base speed class, I don't think it would have been Uber. But that's my opinion. So, name a little tweak, a little fix-it, to the Pokemon game that you would feel makes it better. So here's a battle with RevengeHitokage, a very good battler on YouTube, and here we're just having an OU match, just standard. I lead with Metagross, he leads with Bronzong, and first turn we both set up Stealth Rocks, so that's pretty good for the both of us, I suppose. And I just want to go for Meteor Mash. I was kind of predicting maybe he'll switch or something, but he actually goes for the Gyro Ball, predicting my switch. So we both hit each other with Steel-type moves, predicting switches, but neither of us happens. I miss with a Meteor Mash, which is kind of gay, and he shows the Earthquake. And I'm thinking that I might be able to kill this thing with Explosion. If not, he'll just barely survive, and I can finish him with something. But he actually do take him down, which is good for me, and my Metagross also goes down. So, not too bad. I got rid of an annoying Bronzong, so there you go. So, he goes into Heatran, I go into Flygon, and he's going to predict my obvious Earthquake and go into Rotom. I just wanted to go for an Earthquake anyway, just in case he did a nice prediction, like predicted U-turn or something. I don't know. You just can't ever predict at this point in the game. So now I know he has Rotom, and he actually makes a really nice play and subs on my Switch. So I have to beat the sub down with Dragon Pulse, and he's going to hit me pretty hard with Shadow Ball, considering it's a super effective move. So, great play by him, and Latias gets really damaged because of it. Now, this is a Specs Latias, so I'm just going to go for another Dragon Pulse. It's going to do damage to pretty much anything. And he goes into Heatran, which does do about half to Heatran, and Heatran is pretty damaged after the Stealth Rock and the Dragon Pulse. So I go into Suicune. I figure Suicune can take pretty much most of Heatran's attacks. And I predict a switch, so I decide to, go for the Roar, just to, scout his team a bit and do some Stealth Rock damage to 2 of his guys. And he goes into a Latias of his own, so I see that. And then he goes into and then I roar him into a Gyarados, which gets a lot of damage on Gyarados. And I'm pretty sure he didn't want to send that in at this point in the game, so pretty nice for me. So I go for a Calm Mind because it's a physically defensive Suicune, but he actually roars me, so that's kind of cool. And this is a Jolly Max Speed Tyranitar, and I can outspeed most bulky Gyaradoses, so I decided to go for a Stone Edge, and he wasn't predicting me to be that fast, and I get him on the Stone Edge, and that is a dead Gyarados. So that makes me pretty happy. So anyway, he's thinking about who he wants to send in, and eventually he decides to send in Lucario, which is pretty annoying, because that means I kind of have to switch, and I really don't have a safe switch. I know Latias is going to die to a close combat at this point, but it's the thing I really want, on my team to be dead the most, or I care about the least at this point, just because of its low health. So I go into Flygon, and I go for the Outrage, because I figure, you know what, Outrage will probably kill at this point anyway after the defense drop, and he goes into Rotom, I guess, expecting an Earthquake, which ends up being amazing for me, because the Rotom gets KO'd by the Outrage. But unfortunately, he is able to go into Lucario now and get a free Swords Dance, because he knows I'm locked into Outrage. Outrage doesn't kill it, obviously, and he gets a free Swords Dance, which is good for him. So I get the third turn of Outrage, which I really didn't want because I would have liked to switch on this turn. But he's able. I do get the third turn of Outrage. He goes for the Extreme Speed and KOs Flygon. So now I go into Caesar because Caesar resists Extreme Speed, and I'm kind of hoping I can KO with Bullet Punch if he decides to close combat. But he does go for the Extreme Speed, does about half the Scizor, and after the Life Orb damage and the Bullet Punch, I'm able to KO the Lucario. This is a bulky Scizor, so I don't know if it would have been a KO without the Life Orb damage. So I'm kind of happy that I am able to Life Orb damage it. So he goes into Heatran and scares me out, and he makes a really nice prediction on my Suicune switch and goes into Latias. But I do have Ice Beam on the Suicune, so I decided just to go for that to get some much-needed damage on Latias. And I don't see the leftover, so I'm thinking it's Choice Specs Latias. And Suicune actually does survive the first Draco Meteor, and I decided to keep Suicune in because I really don't want anything to really take a Draco Meteor, even at this point. I let Suicune die, and now I'm going to go into Scizor. I'm going into my Scizor to fight this Latias, and I predict a switch in a Heatran, and I decided to go Brick Break. Even if he doesn't switch, that's probably a dead Latias anyway, because you're not going to be able to do anything to me with Draco Meteor. But he does switch. He goes into Heatran, and that is the game, because obviously I'm going to take down Latias now with Bullet Punch. So, yeah, great game, RevengeHitokage. Not a lot of hacks, which is nice, but rate, comment, subscribe, guys, and I'll see you next time.